Well, that's a big story we're following up with on this morning, and we're going over to Magu'S.
Well, thank you, Chamberlain. Senator Ali Ndume joins us now. He was former Senate leader in the 8th Assembly. You're welcome to Sunrise Daily.
Thank you very much. Good morning, viewers.
Well, you raised objections immediately after the Senate took its decision not to accept Mr. Magu'S as EFCC chair. What were the grounds for your objection?
Well, it was not objection, so to say. I just raised a point of order to call the attention of the Senate to the abnormalities that occurred in the process of the confirmation. And as I said, democracy is all about numbers. There was the majority, and I insisted on having my say and my view. First of all, last time I said the Senate did not screen Magu'S, and that was part of the reason why I was removed as the Senate leader. But I've been vindicated because it was only yesterday that the confirmation process was done. And then eventually he was rejected. But the reasons that were used to reject him still was the previous reason that was, presented, or the things that, or allegations that were presented to Mr. President. And Mr. President wrote us back for his second nomination, appealing that he has done a check, formed a committee led by the Attorney General of the Federation and the Vice President. After the clarification, he now forwarded his name again. So I was surprised yesterday that the same letter that the President was communicated to the President, in which he acted upon, was used as a reason to disqualify or to reject Magu'S. And don't forget that I'm from Borno. Magu'S is from Borno. He's a nominee from my state. So I have to stand by him. And most importantly, I believe in standing by what is right, even if I'm going to stand alone. And I think that was what happened. And some members after that were coming around to say, well.
I will ask you two questions. I mean, we will come to the situation of what is right.
Yes.
But then you have said that you're standing by, you're standing by your rep. It's a kinsman now who's from Borno.
Yeah,
State.
and standing because he didn't do anything wrong.
Now, the Senate would say that they gave him the chance to also give his side of the story. When he was asked about that, the letter that the DSS wrote, he said that he did not realize that the Senate was going to ask him such a question, and so did not bring his written representation. Shouldn't he have been able to reproduce orally what it was that he wrote?
The Senate was not trying Magu'S. The Senate was doing confirmation. If you are accused of an offense, you are supposed to be given the right of hearing. And I don't think the Senate was the right place where that should be done. The Senate is supposed to seek clarification, and I think that is what he did. He said, yes, there were letters from DSS and allegations, which he replied, and that he can avail the Senate with that, because had it been, you say, okay, you are going to be tried for allegations or to prove your innocence against allegations made by DSS before the Senate as part of the confirmation. That would have been the right thing.
The first time we heard of Mr. Magu'S, the first time we heard of anything from the DSS or a report concerning Mr. Magu'S was when Mr. Magu'S was going to face a confirmation screening or hearing by the Senate.
In fact, do
you not think that he should have prepared? Based on those allegations that had stalled, and ensured that the Senate went into a closed-door hearing, shouldn't he have prepared to answer those allegations on the floor of the Senate?
No, the first thing, let me tell you what actually happened. There was a letter written by DSS in response to a letter written by the clerk of the Senate seeking security vetting on Magu'S and other members. And the DSS replied on the 3rd of October. And that letter was communicated to us for whatever reason. We were not privileged to know or even know about it until on the 15th of December. The truth of the matter is there is more to it than what is being presented to the public.
What is more to it?
I don't know, because if you go, like we're in the same government, the president presents a nominee, and we are in the same government. I feel that if there are some issues, before we even go into plenary or even the executive session or exposing it to other members, there should have been discussion or understanding or clarification from both sides. You just don't ambush. That's the way I look at it.
You talked about doing what is right, that you will always stand by doing what is right. What would be right in this situation? Some people will say
what I was thinking is that if you receive a letter nominee from Mr. President, who is the commander-in-chief, under which DSS, police, and other security agencies are operating, and they are also nominated, if there is a disagreeing letter or allegations of that magnitude, you should have discussed with the CNC and get clarification before you even continue. That was not done.
Get clarification in what manner?
On the letters, for example, as the DSS did, and besides, communications are supposed to come from Mr. President to the Senate President. Just the day before yesterday, I raised it. Custom wrote a letter signed by an assistant director. It was rejected. You don't do that. It's not normal for security reports to be written to the clerk of the Senate. No.
Who should he have been addressed to?
It should have been addressed to the Senate President and signed by the DGSS. That was not the case.
Who signed that particular letter?
One Florence or F.O. Adams for the DGSS. You know, so that's why I'm laughing over it. It's funny. We can't go on as a country like this. No, it won't last.
Okay. Senator, I want to ask you to please hold your thoughts. We will take a moment now. When we return, we would take questions from our colleagues in Lagos. Do join us again.